Good morning guys, and thank you for joining me for another What I Eat in a Day as a vegan on Slimming World. If you're new, my name's Leanne, nice to meet you. And if you're coming back, as always, thanks ever so much for doing so. Today is Tuesday and that means that I've got Mum coming over for tea, so it usually ends up that I just sort of have my breakfast fairly late as I normally do, but then because I eat a bit earlier I tend not to end up having like lunch as well, so it does often end up being a 2-meal day, but we'll just see what happens.
For breakfast I made my usual bacon and mushroom pita, only this time I decided to add some spinach. I didn't toast my pita today either. So yeah, I used all of that spinach actually in the end. As you can see, there it all is. And it wilts down to virtually nothing, as demonstrated right here. But it was really delicious. Actually, I really love the addition of the spinach. It keeps it really moist.
Hey guys, so it's currently 5:30, Mum's here and I'm just about to make tea.
Today we're having stir fry, Mum's choice. I gave her the option of salad or stir fry. She chose stir fry, and then I gave her the option of chicken or tofu, and she chose chicken, so we're having what the cluck. Obviously when I say chicken I mean vegan chicken anyway. Excuse my pan from this morning. So yeah, basically very simple. I will just be doing my favourite baby vegetable stir fries for us, along with what the cluck, and then some jasmine rice, which is 1.5 syns a pack. I started off by just sauteing the what the cluck in my pan with some sprays of olive oil, and I used 4 sprays of that one. Everything here is but for me and Mum, so it's all divided by 2 very equally. Anyway, what the cluck browns up very nicely. So I added in all of the stir fry veg. This was 4 packs after it wilted down a bit. And then I added the 2 sachets of rice. Obviously that's 1 each. These are 1.5 syns per pouch, which is really good, I think. I then added some sesame oil, soy, garlic and chili paste and rice vinegar and mixed it all together. And here it is. It was gorgeous. Stick around for syns.
Hey guys, so should we go through syns?
Alrighty, so here is today's food diary. I went a little bit dark on the colour of the boxes today. Sorry, don't mind me, I'm covered in paint because I was painting rocks. So yes, I love the theme today, like the travel sticker theme. I think it's really cute, and these stickers are really nice high quality ones, but sadly I shouldn't have used them with this colour boxes because they just don't go, so that was really stupid of me. I should have used them on the page next to it because the colours go much better, but we move. Anywho, oh yeah, if you like these stickers, like honestly they are so nice. Like I ordered them, I didn't know what to get because I haven't ordered from that company before, and I'm really impressed. I will get stuff from them again, but they're called Navy Peony and I found them on Amazon. They have quite a lot of stickers. I think they're a small company, but like they're based in Thailand, I think. But yeah, anyway, so there you go. That's by the by. So let's look at my food for the day. So tons of speed. Obviously, I mean, you guys know I like loads of stir fry veg, so I like loads of veg in general, to be fair. So I do always have 2 packs, and Mum eats exactly the same amount as me. She is literally about a third of my size, but she had exactly the same size dinner as I did. We split it in half. So yeah, 2 packs of stir fry veg each. Obviously I have mushrooms and spinach in my pita, so really good day on veg. Free foods was just some rice vinegar in dinner, and obviously the what the cluck chicken, and 2 coffees as well. I had the wholemeal pita for breakfast. Was my healthy extra a B choice. Sorry, these colours were a little bit dark, really. And then syns, crammed them in here, unfortunately. But yeah, so I had 2 coffees, each with 100 mils of Alpro Almond Barista. So that was 2 syns. 4 rashers of my vegan streaky bacon. That's the Richmond one, and that's 3 syns. And then in the stir fry, everything I used. So in my portion, 2 sprays of oil. That's 2 syns. My rice pouch was 1.5 syns. 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. I put obviously 4 in there in total. Yes, I measure it using a little teaspoon, because that's where stuff like the oils is where I can easily add loads of syns and not even realise it really. So I usually am really careful when I'm not using a spray oil, but honestly I do like using the spray oils because at least you've got a bit more control and you haven't got to faff around getting like a measuring thing out. But either way, sesame oil obviously is different. I've never seen one in a spray. If you have, let me know. So yeah, 2 teaspoons of that in my portions. That was 4 syns. And then the soy, garlic and chili paste. That's one of my favourite pastes. It's so tasty. Now that one, oh sorry, it's moving around. That one is from Tesco. I think Sainsbury's do a very similar one. All of these sort of flavour pastes, I suppose you would call them, like the garlic, the ginger. They do chili ones. They do gochujang. They do chipotle chili, they do just chili on its own, and then obviously this one, soy, garlic and chili, which is just amazing in stir fries, honestly. But yeah, it's a 90-gram jar, which is equivalent to 6 tablespoons. I just use the whole jar between 2 of us, so that's equivalent to 3 tablespoons. Or 45 grams, and each tablespoon is half a syn. So in total that's 1.5 syns for that soy, chili and garlic paste in my portion. And then afterwards, I didn't show you on camera actually, but we had one of those Alpro protein yogurts with the strawberry and raspberry underneath. You guys may wonder why I always get that flavour, and the simple answer is that's the only flavour of those ones available in my Tesco. But I'm just grateful that we even have one available in my little country town. So there we go. So yeah, really nice day of food today actually. Yeah, it was. I have a funny story, hang on. So I actually had my breakfast really late today, and when I say breakfast it was actually lunch. And I had it like not very long before I had to end up going for a blood test. Now I did mention on here a while ago, I mean it must have been like a month and a half ago now, that well, I think if most of you know, I've got an underactive thyroid. I've had it diagnosed since I was 15, so it's not a new thing. It definitely does affect like my metabolism and stuff, you know, I gain weight at the drop of a hat, stuff like that. So it's not an excuse, I'm just saying it is just a factor. It's just the way my body is made up. But yeah, I mean it just is what it is. It's just a little bit harder to lose weight, but anyway, so I have to get a blood test every year just to monitor it. It's bog standard, you just have to be on medication for the rest of your life. It's quite nice in this country actually, because we have a synthetic thyroid hormone replacement, and which is really nice, because in America apparently the more common one they use is actual thyroid hormone from animals, which just makes me shudder to think that you are literally anyway, so it's really nice to know that in this country our thyroid hormone is synthetic. I mean, it's not like it's an option to take it because you have to. If you've got an underactive thyroid, you have to take it. There's like, it's a severe quality of life thing, but and actually as a result of that you are medically exempt from paying for prescriptions as well. So I mean, that's my bonus, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, so I went for my checkup a while ago. It actually came back that the result was the highest I've ever seen it in my recollection, which was interesting and did explain a lot of kind of symptoms I was feeling. And it's really funny because I've jumped to thyroid being a reason for feeling crappy in many different ways. I mean, you just sort of know your body, don't you? And I've often sort of said to the doctor, you know, I feel like things are not quite right. Can I get a test? And they'll always do an additional test because it's something that just always has to be monitored. And in the past, I've always been right about it. Bizarrely, this time I felt I was feeling really crappy for a little while, and it never occurred to me it was thyroid, and I don't know why. It's so strange. But anyway, so it came back, and it was like the worst result I've ever had. So my TSH levels, which is your thyroid stimulating hormone. So basically, if that is high, I think the threshold is like 5.3. And basically,
if it's over that, then it sort of signifies that you probably need to go up on the drugs. So mine actually came back as 12, which is definitely the highest result that I've ever recorded. I don't know what it was like when I was a teenager or whatever. I've never known those results. You just go with what the doctor said. It's only in recent years I've really become more interested in it. But yeah, so it was really bad. Anyway, so my dosage got upped, and then like what you do when that happens is you go back a month later to, like, because it has to sort of settle in. It's not like an instant thing. And so you go back a month later, you get a retest, etc., etc. And so last week the doctors phoned me and said, oh, we need to book you in for a blood test. So I was a bit surprised, because normally when they up your thyroid hormone, levothyroxine is the tablet that you take, but so when they up it, normally they just say, oh yeah, book in like a month or 6 weeks, and let us know, and then we can just check that it has actually, you know, catered for that whole deficiency. And so I was like, it's a bit strange that the doctor's phoning me, but maybe they're just being more efficient with it, because my doctors are pretty good. So I was like, okay, yeah, fine, let's book in for the blood test. So I went to my blood test today, and I'd had a really busy morning at work. I had last week off work, and as a result, I have a busy week, basically, because I've got a lot to do for work. So that's all fine. So, but basically, I didn't really get a lot of time in the morning, so I didn't manage to have my breakfast, and to be honest, I didn't really think about it until it got to about 12, and then I was like, oh my god, I'm hungry. And even then I didn't get to eat until like 1 o'clock. So that was when I had my breakfast, or lunch at that point. Went to my blood test at like 2, or just gone 2, and the nurse looked at me and she went, you haven't fasted, have you? And I said, no, why would I fast? And she was like, no, that's what I thought, because it's a bit late to have a fasting blood test. And I was like, it's not a fasting blood test, it's just my thyroid test. And she's like, no, it says here that it's a fasting one. And I said, well, no one's told me to fast. And also, since when is a fasting one a blood, like for your thyroid? It's never a fasting one, because it's nothing to do with food. It's literally measuring the hormone that you're producing. And well, or at least the hormone that stimulates the production of the hormone that you're deficient in. So it was just this really bizarre moment of confusion. It was just so funny, because I was thinking, if I'd have known that, I actually could have fasted like half an hour before. Anyway, as it turned out, it was as a result of some other stuff I've been to the doctor about, and actually they were doing a full blood work on me today, which I didn't realise. I had like 4 syringes of blood taken. TSH, like my thyroid one, it wasn't actually even on the list of blood tests she was doing today, but she added it on for me. So yeah, that was bizarre, but that should be interesting. I suspect my B12 is going to be a bit low again. But yeah, I've had lots of tests done today, actually. So I had a blood sugar test, which was obviously why they wanted it to be fasting. But she said to me, like, it's too late in the day to ask for a fasting blood test, so don't worry. Because I said, no, I've eaten. And it was so stupid because it was so close before it as well. So I hope that hasn't affected it too much. But anyway, whatever. I've never really had blood sugar problems anyway, so hopefully I still don't. But yeah, so they're doing a full blood count, which is always useful to know, doing kidney function, blood sugars, B12, and I'm sure there was another one that I've forgotten. B12, blood sugars, kidney function, full blood count. Oh, and then my thyroid one, maybe that was it. I can't remember. I'll get it off the doctor's notes anyway when the results come in. But yeah, so that should be interesting. I love getting blood tests. Now that you can see all your results for yourself online and that, like, I find it so interesting, and I love tracking this kind of stuff. I just think it's such a useful thing to like take a bit of ownership of your own health. And like, I feel really bad for people, because like it's already paid itself back for me like years ago, and I mean, it might even be as many as 8 years ago, something like that. I was feeling really crappy, and I'd gone to the doctor and just said, look, can you just do an extra thyroid test, because I think it might be low. And the doctors did the test, and I was fully expecting it to come back like needing to have more of my levothyroxine. And the reception, when I phoned back to get the results, the receptionist said, no, the results are absolutely fine. And then a couple of months later, I was still feeling awful, like god awful. And so I made another doctor's appointment. No, it was an appointment about something else, and I mentioned it to the doctor, and I said, oh, I've even had my thyroid tested recently, because I thought it was probably that. I said, but it came back fine. And then she went back over the results and was like, no, the TSH is really high, so we need to definitely address that. So like that kind of thing is like, it just pays to be so on top of it and just make sure, like double check each time. So like if I'd have known at the time, I'd have asked, like nowadays I always ask for the actual number, because if I'd have asked that time, I wouldn't have had to feel horrible for a couple of months. And the thing is, again, with underactive thyroid, it takes a little bit just to catch up once you start, you know, replacing it with your tablets. So it's not like an instant fix, like you still feel crappy for a bit afterwards. So yeah, it's I just think it's so important that we try and sort of take as much control of our health as possible. And you do hear stories about people being given, you know, the incorrect drugs or something that interacts with something else, and like, oh my god, the whole thing, I just think it's so much better to like take charge of yourself. I don't know why I'm having this like little rant, but yeah, anyway, the whole point was, I just thought it was quite funny that I ate so late today, and then made a real effort to like eat before I went to the doctor's, because I knew my tummy was like really rumbling and I was feeling really lightheaded. And and then the fact that I got there and she was like, you were meant to be fasting. I was like, no one told me. I just thought it was so typical on the day, like if I'd have just waited half an hour, I actually could have achieved that. So anyway, I just thought it was amusing, and I've turned it into a medical rant, so I do apologise. But yeah, if you do have anything like that, vitamin levels, anything like that, always just ask for the number. If they say like, oh, you're low, you're high, you're normal, ask for the number, and then just always keep a note of it, because it's just really useful to keep your own record, and then you can track as well, like how things go up and down. I mean, regards B12, I'm actually expecting them to come back with it being low. I have been vegan for, it will be 12 years in 12, yes, 12 years, no, 11 years in August. And all throughout being vegan, my B12 levels were absolutely fine, up until I was really ill with COVID. And after my main sort of recovery and everything like that, I was having a lot of tests and stuff, and basically my B12 and vitamin D had completely plummeted, and the doctor said it was literally as a result of where I had been so ill. Like, it just used all my body's resources, basically. She said that was just what happened. So since then I've made sure to take B12 supplements and vitamin D supplements, and actually iron now as well. I'm not very good at taking them regularly, I must say, so I do wonder if my B12 is going to be a little bit low. But last time it was like that time when it was low, they actually prescribed me the injections where you go in and get an injection every, I don't know, I think it's like 5 injections over 2 weeks or something like that. So I know that's an option, but to be honest, I'll probably they might just say have tablets if that's it. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see where I am, because the thing when they do these things, when you've because I had to have iron as well, which was another really interesting one, but again, it was after COVID, so my body was just screwed. And yeah, I was really deficient in iron, like I can't remember what the number was, I've got it written down somewhere, but like I was crazy low, and she was like, no, that's really going to be affecting you. It was like loads of things just working against me at that point, because my body used everything to like fight off the death, basically. So yeah, I I had iron tablet. I had like a course of like insanely strong iron tablets, which was horrible, because I'm not being funny. They're not very nice to take a strong dose of. They're not good for your tummy. So ever since then, I've made sure to take my iron supplements, and vitamin D. I've been on for years. Like I always take vitamin D. Like in England, technically every adult should be taking, I always say this, every adult should be taking vitamin D at least over the winter. We just don't get enough sun in this country to be able to produce enough vitamin D in our bodies over the winter at least. And if you don't go outside much, then all year. So yeah, it's really important to take vitamin D. So you should all be taking vitamin D, probably. It's actually so much so that they've got a notice up in my surgery. I don't know why I'm ranting on about vitamins. I just think it's interesting. Anyway, I'm gonna go, but yeah, that was a really long and pointless story about the fact that there was an alleged fasting blood test and I ate lunch late. All right, well, thanks for watching. If you're still here, and I'll see you tomorrow. And get your bloods checked if you're feeling really tired, because sometimes there's things going on that might make you feel better. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.